off orange, but you know, big stepping. Hey.
LA Rams, what up though? Hey.
No, we
Cincinnati,
good.
I don't know though.
We good.
Hey.
We good. Upset City.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the Masters Please podcast. Don't mind us.
Don't mind us.
It's Super Bowl, but we still had to get the podcast out. So
It
I
is.
have here my girl, Velour Pashi, aka
Thank
Pashi
you.
Nurse. She has a whole lot of names, but
A lot of nicknames.
Yes, we have her as a guest. So, what's up, girl?
What's up?
Do you want to tell a little bit of people about yourself? You ain't gotta be professional right now, but
Okay,
just tell them who is Velour.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm really happy to be here. It's a big weekend, Super Bowl weekend. I'm hype. I'm a big football fan.
Yeah.
And
Guys, it took a while
holiday-
for me to get her here. We had to work on some
But I made
logistics
it.
because
I made it.
Cincinnati is in the playoffs, apparently, for y'all that are fans. So
But one thing about me, I'm always pulled through.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm here. But no, my name's Velour. I'm Congolese.
Hey,
first and foremost.
243. Yes,
Team
ma'am.
243,
Yes.
first and foremost. I've moved around a little bit. I work in traveling healthcare, so I've moved around a little bit, but originally moved to Cincinnati, Ohio from Congo.
Okay.
And
Oh,
then-
straight from Congo.
Yeah,
that was
straight from Congo.
so that was the fresh.
Fresh out.
That was the city.
Fresh out the
I see.
243, yeah.
Okay.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
I see where the
Stand
love-
up. Who they, Bengals?
No, I'm not.
All roads are going to lead
They're
back.
not there.
Okay, sure. No,
Go
but
ahead.
I lived there, went to school there, then moved to Atlanta briefly, and then moved to New Orleans, which is like my second home. I
Yeah.
love New Orleans so
yeah.
much.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Second
now
favorite team.
temporarily, second favorite team for sure. And now temporarily, very temporarily.
Oh yeah.
In LA.
She's not about the LA. She's
about
not
the
about
LA.
West Coast. She likes a little bit of Negroes with her meal. A little more.
I like the weather though. I've been trying to think more so of like positive things about LA.
Oh, is that deep?
And I love the weather because I'm one of those people that feed
Yeah.
off the energy of like
Right.
the temperature. So if it's gonna be raining every day or cloudy, like I could never live in Seattle.
So you like Velour? The weather's good.
The weather's good. Minimal
Yeah.
rain.
Yeah.
Like you're more. I feel like when the weather is good, you're more motivated to get things done. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do this,
Yeah.
this, and this. But then if you already don't want to do stuff and you wake up, you see rain, you're like, yeah, it's not happening. Like,
Right?
it's just not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can just blame the rain, but in actuality, it's just you.
So what did you like about NOLA compared to LA?
Ooh, I love. Well,
What did you not?
You know
What is there
what?
not to like, basically, right?
you know what? And it seems backwards because LA is so diverse, but I feel like there's so much culture that there's no culture.
Yeah.
It's like there's so much going on that there's
Oh, so
and
there's
it's
not a
coming
dominant
from everywhere
culture.
that
Right.
there's no actual like LA culture
Gotcha.
in my opinion.
Gotcha.
And obviously it's just my opinion. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But one thing I love about New Orleans is like you go there and there's foods that are just in New Orleans that you literally can't get
Yeah.
nowhere else unless
Okay.
you're getting the bootleg version.
Yeah.
There's literal words that are just in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like it's like its own language. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's like people saying "Wazam," you're like, "What is that?" And you're
Right,
like, "Oh,
right.
what's up?" Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
Wazam.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You know?
Go, what is
It's
that?
like Wazam. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
was it? Okay.
Wazam. So
Okay, I was
instead
like,
of
that's a
what's
sounding
up or
thing, but it
hi,
sounds
it's
like what's
Wazam.
happening. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha,
no,
gotcha,
Wazam,
gotcha.
just straight up Wazam.
Wazam. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So, and they have a lot of words like that, like a lot of words, a lot of phrases. They have like second line parades, like it's like their own culture there, and I
Yeah.
just love it. It's almost like a different country, but
But
still in the
Amer-
U.S.
right,
Like, yeah,
right.
It has its own like distinct. You're like, okay, this is New Orleans. Like,
Okay,
you know.
Mayor.
So I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to run for mayor.
So she only reps Cincinnati because of the Super Bowl.
That's fair.
You were like, I ain't
no,
gonna lie.
University of Cincinnati. I rep my college.
Oh, do you?
I've always repped the
Oh,
University
okay,
of
okay,
Cincinnati.
okay.
The Bengals are just. We're gonna talk about the Bengals, y'all. I'm sorry if
Yeah.
you're not sports people, but
I mean, you know,
the Bengals are hard to rep because it's like depressing, y'all. The last time we won a playoff game, I was literally 4 years old.
Oh,
I'm not
don't,
exaggerating.
yeah.
So this is like 30 years of
You were probably not
being
in,
let down.
You were not in the States.
I don't.
were you?
Yeah, I was. We moved
Oh,
here when I
you-
was 6 months.
oh,
old.
okay.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
big Americanized.
Oh, yeah.
Big
All
Americanized.
over, yeah.
But like, yeah. So it's so imagine season after season after season of
Hoping.
disappointment.
Yeah.
So
That's how I feel about the
yes.
Cowboys. Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna get this again. So I'm gonna live it up.
So, my prayers to you guys for tomorrow.
What's that?
You know.
Don't be out here speaking blasphemous.
Listen, because I'm going to be out here representing the Rams. You know what I'm saying? I don't even watch football like that.
Exactly. And that's the
But
problem
because
with the
I'm in
Rams
LA.
fans. That's the difference between Rams fans and Bengals fans. Bengals fans been in it
True.
since 1988,
True.
1987.
Yeah.
I could list the last 4 quarterbacks.
I've
everything.
seen the Instagram posts.
And
People
Rams
are-
fans are either bored, or either they're from LA,
Yeah.
or they're just here and they're like, oh, LA, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or they're Dodgers fans that are really bored in the offseason.
Oh, my. We're going deep
And
into this.
I will tell you, though, the Rams fans that I do really respect are the ones from St. Louis, because the Rams did transfer here from St. Louis.
I think because the LA didn't have a team for so long here
And so,
it's
like,
more Lakers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the one and Dodgers. I feel
True,
like
Dodgers and
is
Lakers,
pretty legit, yeah. But the ones that like was the St. Louis Rams fans
Uh-huh.
and like followed them, those are the legit Rams fans, and I'm like, all right, I see y'all.
Okay.
But the rest of y'all,
Oh, she coming
is
for
what
all of
y'all
y'all.
are. It is
she
what it
coming
is.
for all of y'all. But
It
you
is
know,
what it is.
go Rams. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Yeah, the Rams, they don't even have a touchdown dance. They ain't even
Okay,
got a
hold
song.
on. Do we got a slogan? We
They
got
don't
a
even
slogan?
exactly. This is a Rams fan don't know the slogan, like y'all.
You know, to be honest, I'm not a because I'm in LA. Might as well. Might as well. They ain't got nothing else to do. So I have to ask because her boo thing is from here. Is he originally?
So they say.
But they met here. We go get to that.
No, he is from
Boo,
here.
if you're watching, shout out to J.E. We go
Shout
get
out.
to that.
Big shout out, J.E.
So who is he rooting for?
Who is he rooting?
Yeah.
Oh, he's rooting for the Bengals. He
Oh,
knows
sell
what it
out.
is.
Sell
He
out.
doesn't like the Rams like that
Sell
because
out.
he's actually from LA, and the Rams did not start in LA. So
Whatever.
period. He knows the vibes.
Yeah, we gonna have a talk, Jay. We
he
gonna have a
knows
talk.
the vibes. He's a big Dodgers fan, though, so
I
I
know-
do
yeah,
have to shout out the Dodgers.
Yeah. So if it was the
because-
other case, he would have been all
Oh,
up in there. Okay.
100%.
Who does Cincinnati even have a
100%.
Dodgers team?
No, they're a baseball team. The
baseball
Reds.
team.
Yeah,
okay.
they have a baseball team.
Yeah,
They're okay.
But they're okay. They're
Yeah.
not relevant enough.
They're okay.
Yeah.
They're one of those teams that like get hype at the beginning,
Uh-huh.
and then like
At the
when
end
the
of the
season actually starts, and you're just like, maybe
Why?
next year.
Okay.
Every time.
I mean, because I'm not really a Dodger. I'm more into basketball, but you know.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
more
I
into
like
basketball.
football. I don't
We know
much
you like
about
football.
baseball.
Yeah, St. Louis. Yeah,
Yeah.
We know. I mean, how she is. Not St. Louis. I'm tripping. Did I just say St. Louis?
Wow, and this
I'm
is your
sorry.
husband's team too.
And you know, Zayn is wearing the ones that you got it right now.
Really?
Yeah. Because I'm like, we're not buying no Rams. But anyways, we could go on with this football thing.
This is actually a sports podcast, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't know what you thought you
It
was
is
tuning
not.
into, but
Velour will make it a sports podcast. You know, she is more into sports than her hubby, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah, we'll get to the story he was talking about how you were trying to plan the date around football games. Hot mess.
Anything. Oh.
Anyway, Velour,
It
so
worked
it's February, guys, the
It's
month of love,
February.
apparently.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk about, you know, the Master Suites podcast is about helping women or inspiring women to get unstuck. And I did get requests from women. I don't always talk about my like relationship like story or, you know, because I have people asking me like, oh, you know, tell me about a story, how you met your husband, etc., blah, blah. You know, girls wanting to know, like, how did you know he was the one? How did you go about dating? How did you know about, you know, go about, like, enjoying your single season or whatever? So, you know, I thought of Velour because, you know, she popped up in L.A., but, you know, she if you know her, she wasn't supposed to stay in LA. Homegirl, she's a traveling nurse, so homegirl does not stay put. But the Lord brought her husband. I'm just kidding. Let me stop.
That's a fact. Oh my
I'm
goodness. Don't ever make plans
In
in life,
LA.
y'all, because
Yeah.
they'll get messed up. Don't ever make plans.
Don't make what they say. You make your plans and God,
God
laughs.
laughs. Yeah, literally. Like I knew my plan, but yeah, no.
But God had other. Won't He do it?
Apparently, I'm just in the wind now.
Alors, ma sœur,
Ça commence,
Ça
hein?
commence. On est des Congolais. We are Congolese, but you know, sometimes I may just switch in French, but I'm a translator for you though. So I'm gonna get right quick to it. So I brought Velour because I thought that she is someone I I've been wanting to interview her, but the pandemic, I got pregnant.
I know. We've been trying to do
Yeah.
this for I think 10 months.
Listen.
But the timing was
But
perfect,
the
so we
time
wouldn't
was,
have been able to big
hey,
set.
and then it happens to be during the Super Bowl. Hey, I look forward to just getting on her, especially when they lose tomorrow.
Wow.
So
Let me know the slogan when you figure it out.
Oh, we're gonna come up with one tomorrow when they win the
Wow,
trophy. Absolutely, yes, ma'am. I did that. All those Cincinnati people, you want to come for me? My Instagram.
Yeah, let them know the Instagram.
Yeah, stop. She's gonna tag me on it, so you can find me. But I wanted to talk to all those. I had girls that reached out to me when I had started the series on getting unstuck, and wanted to talk about okay. I talked about very, very emotional situations when it comes to mental health, but a lot of people wanted different areas of being stuck because people get stuck in different areas. And I had girls asking me when it comes to the state of being in a relationship, there's so many levels to it, especially we're in our 30s. We both, I guess I got married in my 30s. She's gonna get married in her 30s. Being from an African culture, you're supposed to get married at 25 most of the time. Yeah, that's
That's late.
23, 25.
Right, 22 to
loosely
25.
translated, around that time. But let's talk about women and being stuck. I talked about, I don't know if you remember when I started the podcast, I was talking about, I had a series called Singleness is Not a Curse.
Yeah.
And I talked about when I was in a relationship and I wanted to make it work because I was 29 and I was this is going to be the one, or when I was 25, I was I remember getting into a relationship that I knew I shouldn't have been in, but I was I should be getting married because that was my environment. And a lot of us make decisions because of the environment we're in. But I thought you'd be a perfect person. And that's why I've wanted to have you in because you traveled.
Yeah.
And I talked about that during the podcast. I think it's important for women to travel to see other things, because when you're stuck in one bubble, you end up feeling like you're limited to making decisions based on what everybody is doing.
Absolutely.
So
for sure.
I've had situations where I was in a situationship. If you want to hear about the situationship series, y'all go back. We talked about what a situationship means.
That part. You will even wake up and be like, I'm in a situationship. You don't even realize it.
I had someone tell me, go girl, you're in a situationship. And that's how I learned about the word.
That's wild how that happens.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, no, I'm not. I'm just getting to know this person. You're thinking
nah, girl, that's a situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere, therefore you are in a situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shit. That's
So,
wild.
girl, you wanna tell people about. Have you been in a situationship, girl?
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about that, because I think it's important for. She said
Absolutely.
She said 100%.
How much time you got? No,
What
I'm
do
just
you
kidding.
mean? Yeah, of course. Who hasn't?
Yeah,
Some
absolutely.
people apparently haven't. Some people, I guess, figure it out early.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
And kudos to you. I always feel like life is a lot. It's a journey. You're learning about yourself. If you learn about yourself later than earlier, then kudos to you. But this is what we want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So can you talk about when you were in that situationship?
Yeah.
Do you know what kept you there? Because the whole concept is being stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's good, yeah.
What was that process? Because I really want to help women walk through that process of what keeps you stuck.
Gotcha.
What is it? Was it age? Was it security? Was it intimacy? What kept you stuck in the situation?
Okay, cool. That's a good question.
Disclaimer, Jay did not watch this.
Right? That's okay. He
Yeah,
knows.
you
He
know.
knows.
I'm sure.
But no, I would say the two main things that kept me stuck is just, like you say, you listen to these. I feel like sometimes with dating, there's these overall themes that people want to follow, and you're you're so stuck on that.
Like
theme.
goals.
So not even. It's just certain things this is a red flag. This is always a red flag. This is always a green flag type of thing.
Okay.
And so you're just stuck on those certain themes. So for me specifically, what kept me in the situationship that I was in was a thought that actions speak louder than words. So it's and I think that the best way to combat that is just to, I wish looking back that I would have been stronger in what I actually wanted for myself, and really stuck up more for what I wanted for myself instead of kind of settling for the actions speak louder than words. So with that being said, it's like usually
When you
people complain about like, oh, like, you know, I'm trying to get to know this person, but they're not consistent, or they don't want to do anything together, or they're not making plans for us for the future. You know what I mean? So it was kind of the reverse for the situationship that I was in, because it's like he was doing all the things but just didn't want the title, if that makes sense. So he was consistent. He was checking up on me all the time. He was introducing me to his mom and grandma and babies, sisters, cousins, this and that. And so it was like, I was like, oh, well, he must like me because he's doing all these things. Yeah. And he would
he didn't
help me to move and all this kind of stuff. And like, you know, and it wasn't convenient for him. But it's like when it came down to actually having a title, it was like, oh, I don't know. But I stayed in it because I think prior to that, I was not seeing consistency from guys, even though they're like, oh, yeah, I'll be your man, I'll be your boyfriend. But then they weren't doing the things. But when I met him, it was different because he was doing the things. So that's what kept me.
That's an interesting point.
I have the consistency. I have everything I need. So then it's kind of like you're messing in your own mind. You feel crazy. You're like, am I being extra? Like, what is? And then all of a sudden you're like, well, what?
Am I being too picky? Am I asking?
I still have everything I want. I'm still, you know, getting my meals paid for and getting this and getting that. But it's like, no, what is it that you want? There's nothing wrong with your standards, and you stick to that. And if somebody really honors you and loves you, then they're going to understand where you're coming from, and they're going to essentially give you what you want to make you feel comfortable and content. You shouldn't have to like bend or you know, lower your standards for anyone, or settle. Yeah, you shouldn't feel stuck. But I think that's what kept me stuck, is like the actions, even though it wasn't fully what I wanted.
So was this the recent relationship, the previous relationship? And when I say relationship, I'm not talking about like dating. I'm talking about relationship.
No,
prior to, okay.
This was actually a situationship.
But so that was like probably the most.
Yeah, I had the situationship, and then I had a relationship, and then I had
another situation. And then you had the
my man. Period.
Shout out her man. Go ahead and show the ring, girl. Go ahead. Show
I like gold, yo. I've never really been a silver person, so this is like rose gold.
And she's married. She's getting married.
Yes,
so
getting married.
And this is why I wanted to talk about this, because everybody's path is different. I think, like, especially growing up in the African community, we glorify marriage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
We glorify marriage. We glorify, like, oh, it's like you haven't lived until you're married. Like, you can have a degree, a doctorate. You are honor students. If you do not marry, you are irrelevant.
Who are you?
So who are you?
Miss who?
T'es qui? Ce n'est pas important. Pardon, Yaya. C'est pas. So, you know, I wanted to get you because I know you have a very broad perspective about it.
That's a nice way to put it.
Well, what's the other way to put it? Ratchet perspective. I'm just kidding.
Yep.
So you talked about the word settle, because it's easier said than done, because I have been in this situationship, and I think, you know, no shade to the person, you know, if you happen to watch this, the Lord loves you too, you know, it's nothing personal, but I think also I got stuck into feeling this person is a great person, but sometimes if they're a nice person, that doesn't mean they're the right person for you.
Yeah,
that was my light bulb.
That's so true.
Because you're so, like you said, like they do they're nice. I need to make it work. But you have your list, and there's realistic lists, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But there's the non-negotiable, like when to the point where you feel like you're. There's deal breakers.
Yeah,
there's deal breakers. Like what like you mentioned, I wanted the title.
Yeah, for sure.
But he was giving me all the consistency.
Yeah.
And sometimes women do that because we based it off our past relationship.
Yep.
Then we take some other baggage and put it in a new relationship because it's like, oh, no, he didn't do that. So now I need to find someone completely opposite to that. And then you get into some other issues.
Yes. I always it's funny because I've always had discussions with like women and my friends and stuff about that, how we are, you know how they say like the 80-20 rule. You have like the person, and no one's perfect, so there's always going to be that part of that person that may not sit well with you. Yeah. So then when you leave that relationship or that situation, you move on to the next person, you might fixate on that little piece that that first person didn't have. So like, let's say if I was dating someone and they had everything except they were broke, right?
Yeah.
So then the next person I find that has a lot of money, I'm gonna be like, ooh, I like this person because he
he
has a lot of money.
at
But you're not
least.
seeing all the other stuff that you
Exactly.
still need to feed into your relationship and make your relationship work.
Yeah.
You're just fixated on that little
That one
piece
thing.
that they may have that the other
Or
person
the
didn't
thing
have.
that probably bothered you the most. So
Yeah.
the most traumatizing thing about the last relationship.
Right,
I think
right.
I used
Instead
to
of
do.
looking at the big
I used to
picture.
do the whole thing like because I had dated Congolese people and I was like, no more Congolese men. And we
Right.
tend to do that too. Like no more black. I'm done with
Yeah.
niggas. I'm
part.
done with
Yeah.
And it's just like I mean, am I right? We do that, but
Yeah.
but I think that's why it's also important to do the healing because
Yeah.
well, whatever the next guy is a black.
Exactly.
What if he is African or Congolese?
Yeah.
It's not about, and it's more so much about us, which is what I love when you talked about the not settling portion.
Yeah,
Do you
for
want to
sure.
dive a little deep into that?
the
Because
not
I think
settling? Yeah,
that
sure.
is important because, no, not even just that, because a lot of girls would be like, oh, that's enough, because you mentioned you were so big on the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, that was like my big thing from my previous
Mm-hmm,
relationship. So I could have just got into, I just want a man that's consistent and
Yeah.
then miss other red flags.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so true.
Sometimes it's another problem.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then you get the ring and the consistency, but
Yeah.
maybe it's another situation going on. So
Exactly.
what did you feel like you learned
Yeah.
from past situationships
Mm-hmm,
on what your, do you mind sharing
Like the
what your
settling?
deal breakers are? Yeah.
Oh, so
Your deal
share
breaker.
my deal breakers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
should I
talk
get
about
my
the-
list out?
Well, yeah,
I have a whole
girl.
list.
She's like, let me have
I am so
my phone.
serious. I am so no because and you did mention lists earlier, and I know it sounds really silly, but I do think that it's important.
It is important.
And
Realistic.
obviously the Bible says write the vision and make it plain,
Go
but it's
ahead,
also
girl.
to keep you. I don't know what verse it comes from, but you can Google it.
She's like, I'm not sure.
Um,
Google it. But yeah.
but no, and it does. It keeps you focused because I think sometimes, like you said, you'll meet somebody and you'll be like, this is a nice person, but does that mean that this is a person that's nice for
me
you?
or the best fit for
Right,
me. Yeah.
and you don't really know until you're in it because you might say, I want an assertive man. Like,
Yeah.
I want a man that's assertive, that's an alpha male or something like that.
Yeah.
But then when you close the door and that alpha male isn't listening to your perspective on anything,
Yeah.
is that still what you want? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So
yeah.
it's like there's things that may sound good in theory, but in practice, you
It
have
doesn't
to have a
work.
balance.
Exactly.
You have to have a balance.
And what works for
but-
someone else might not. But yeah, let's
Yeah.
because I think the list will help some people either
absolutely.
direct you, but I think it's important to have
Uh-huh.
a list. And I'll share
Absolutely.
mine after you because that also helped me.
Yeah,
So let's see what
definitely.
Mrs. Pashi has on her list. Yeah.
You guys, oh my gosh, I'm
Must like
I'm a
football.
whole fiance now.
Must
so
like,
I'm like, hold on
oh,
a
she's a
second.
whole fiance.
I'm
yeah.
a whole fiance now,
Okay.
so
I'm
this
sorry.
list is in
I'm
the
sorry,
depths.
dudes. This is not relevant
in the
anymore. He's off the market.
Oh my gosh, no, hold on, let me find it.
Oh.
But no, I think the list is good.
Where's this on your
Yeah,
notes?
it's in my it's in my planner. My notes page.
Okay,
on
while you're looking
iPhone.
for it, when did you write this? When did you have the full draft, the full
full
copy?
draft was written right. I would
When
say
you were like, you know what, I'm
20
changing this. Because you have that,
would
be like,
say
you know what,
the
that's not that
end.
important. We putting
Right.
this. This is important.
that part. No, I would say like the end of 2018. I would say is when I have the full draft written.
Okay.
But oh my goodness,
She
you
lost the
guys.
list.
Oh no, I have my list now. Okay, you want to
Okay,
hear
yeah,
it?
go ahead, girl.
Okay, so my deal breakers were smoke cigarettes,
Okay.
no high school diploma or GED, felon, atheist, more than 2 kids. That was my absolute deal breakers.
But one was okay.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
okay with one. I was okay
No,
with one.
that's a good example.
Yeah.
Well, those are the main deal breakers.
Those were my deal breakers.
Everything else she could kind of work with.
I felt so those were my absolute 100% deal
No,
breakers.
okay, based on what
right?
you experienced in
Yeah,
the past.
so this
okay.
is like 100% zero, like not even gonna entertain it.
Okay.
But then of course, they talk about like you have to balance out the pros and cons. Like what
Yeah.
if you meet someone that's everything and they have 2 kids? Like for me, that's a deal breaker. But if I meet someone that's everything, is my preference for them to have no kids?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But if they're everything, they have 1 kid and they have a good relationship with the mom,
Yeah.
everything's
Yeah.
everything. then hey, yeah, I'm not gonna like
Not gonna
count this
knock it
person
out.
out.
Exactly.
You know, but like I said, that's for me. Everyone knows you have to know yourself
Yeah.
and what you're willing to work with. And of course, there's circumstances like if someone can be everything, and if they're like have a child and the relationship with the mom is wishy washy and there's a bunch of drama, blah blah blah. Like so, everything's kind of relative. But yeah, those are my absolute deal breakers. And then you know, then there's the stuff that you like really, really want, like your must-haves.
Yeah.
And then the other stuff can be
So let's talk about
kind of give and take.
4 of those must-haves.
4 must-haves.
4 of the must-haves that you feel like your now future husband has that was the game changer.